What's going on, everybody? TG here, back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about AMD and why I just dropped $7,500 onto AMD and why I think this stock is going to go much higher, and I'd like to add to my position even more soon. We picked up AMD yesterday when it was about $75 a share. We sold a put on it long term for a June 2020 $75 put, which doesn't seem very bullish, but I didn't have enough room in my account to sell one that was in the money, so I had to do one right outside the money. We got paid $1,200 for that. I'm actually thinking of closing this out soon and then using that gain that I had to then sell a $90 put on it to get even more premium, but that's beside the point. What I wanted to talk to you guys about today is why I think that AMD is a solid buy. So if we look at the chart, it was doing really hot in January, and this stock hit $99 a share on January 11th. And since then, it has really fallen hard since then. It was consolidating for a while, ended up hitting that all-time high and breaking out. Then it was rejected quickly and kind of had a big sell-off, at the end of January, and especially in February, when we had that brutal tech sell-off right about here all the way to March. It's been a bad tech sell-off for the past couple weeks with rates rising and bond yield 10-year going crazy. And it's not been good for tech, but I found it as a perfect opportunity to pick up some cheap AMD and other great stocks as well. And I mean, financially and fundamentally speaking, AMD is absolutely sound. Let's go over here and actually look at their earnings last quarter, because it was one of the greatest earnings quarters I have seen for a chip maker in a very long time. If we look at revenue up 52.5% year over year to $3.24 billion. One of the most impressive things about this entire thing is right underneath it, net income. $1.78 billion, 947% year over year growth. Look at that earnings per share, $1.45 per. And my favorite part of all of this, look at that net profit margin of 55%, a 587% year over year growth. And they got $1.6 billion cash on hand. This company fundamentally is so sound and so strong. It's actually at a pretty low PE ratio, is now of 36, and after their next earnings, I expect that to be much lower as well. This stock is such a great stock on so many levels, and they've also had some amazing news recently, like their acquisition of this company right here, Xilinx. They bought them out for $35 billion, and a lot of people were skeptic at first because they're like, why are you spending $35 billion?
Well, the way I think about this is, Jim, you know that I'm always in for the long term. We built our sort of foundation, sort of the base AMD business on just, thinking, very carefully about what's going to happen in the industry over the next 5 years, right? So that's how we decided to lean into data centers. That's the strength of the PC market, the strength of the gaming market. What Xilinx brings is, really very additive to the AMD model. So, first of all, it is immediately accretive upon closing. It brings, significant margin expansion as well as profitability and free cash flow generation. But more importantly than that, we really believe that together we can define the future of high performance computing. And, I'm a very ambitious person. It's all about, what we can do to transform the industry, as well as, participate in driving sort of the next phase of computing. And that's what Xilinx is all about. It's a fabulous company. I would say it's one of the best companies in the industry. It's a very, unique capabilities. And we are so complementary. And you really see that when we think about the product portfolios, the market segments that we're in. And then culturally, we're also, very aligned as well. So it's a very good day for AMD, and we're very excited about what we can do together with Xilinx.
But it all comes down to the genius behind the scenes, AMD CEO Dr. Lisa Su. She says our acquisition of Xilinx marks the next leg in our journey to establish AMD as the industry's high-performance computing leader and partner of choice for the largest and most important technology companies in the world. Lisa Su is a genius. She has constantly made amazing plays over the year, and it's why AMD stock has just absolutely exploded, in these past couple years, and just had a beautiful run from $15 a share 5 years ago to now being at $77 a share and significantly undervalued at $77 a share. I think Lisa Su knows what she's doing, and listen to what Dr. Kramer has to say about Lisa Su.
Leadership, like the kind of leadership we're getting from Dr. Lisa Su, the CEO of AMD. For those of you who have been living under a rock, and I'm sure some of you have, Lisa Su may be the foremost executive of our time. She arrived in this country from Taiwan when she was 3 years old, whizzed through Bronx Science, a fabulous, difficult magnet school, then went to MIT, where she picked up a bachelor's degree, a master's, and a PhD in electrical engineering. In other words, she's a total East Coast heavyweight. And after she worked at IBM and several semiconductor companies, and she came to AMD in 2012. She took over as CEO in 2014, back when the stock was trading at $2. At the time, AMD was an also-ran semiconductor play with one of the worst balance sheets of any publicly traded company. Many thought the business was destined for bankruptcy, but not Lisa Su, who is one of the most competitive people I have ever met. Even though her background was in engineering, she knew that before she could design new chips, she had to fix the busted balance sheet. That was the only way they'd be able to go after their arch rival, Intel. When Su did raise the money, she got everything she needed. She reached out to me to set the record straight. She explained that my worship of Intel had to end because she was going to run circles around them. I told her I'd been an Intelaholic for ages. It was incurable. I even joked that Intel was keeping AMD alive by treating them with kid gloves to fend off potential antitrust enforcement. She didn't think that was funny. As the stock bounced around $10, it took me some time to realize that she was the real deal. Her roadmap to dominate personal computer processors and gaming chips was actually realistic. Then AMD moved into the rapidly growing data center space. Well, I'm glad I started pushing the stock aggressively to you, not just because it's made people fortunes, but also because this is maybe the most impressive turnaround in business I've ever seen. Somewhere along the way, Su built AMD into a company that could indeed did surpass Intel. They now dominate the PC business. They're neck and neck with NVIDIA in gaming and the data center.
So where does AMD go from here? That's the big question. And personally, I think AMD is going up. I think by next year, this stock is a triple-digit stock, without a doubt. The amount of money that this company is bringing in, the amount of market share that they are taking from all of their competition is incredible. And if I recommend any option strategy for AMD, depending on your risk level tolerance and what you're looking for, I think that selling long-dated puts or buying long-dated calls is your best bet. You guys know me. I'm selling the June 17th put. Like I said, I'm going to probably roll that and put it into a $100 strike price and try to get a lot more premium, about $2,900 worth of premium on that. You could also buy a long-term call, such as the $100 call for next June. It'll cost you about $745, but you can make a lot of money if this stock goes up, which I do believe it will. So there's a lot of different ways to play it. You can also just buy equity and write covered calls on it. But the only problem with writing covered calls on it sometimes is if this does have this big breakout, which I believe it will happen soon, you're going to miss out on a lot of gains. So I would definitely go long term. You know, the market right now is choppy with interest rates and stuff. You go long term on this bad boy, do a $100 strike price. Or if you're feeling, you know, trying to be a little bit more safe, go ahead and sell an at the money put. Sell one for $77.50, collect $1,225. Say that AMD is going to stay above $77.50 by next June, which I think is a pretty safe bet. You'll make $1,200. That's a stimmy right there to basically do nothing. So in worst case scenario, you buy shares at an average price of $65.25. So it's an amazing deal overall. I like this company. I think you should buy it. I'm not a financial advisor, obviously, but this is what I believe. If you guys like this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts on AMD. I'll see you guys next video. Bye.